Today is the day. I am inducing my labor. I'm going to show you the entire process from beginning to end. I'm going to just show you exactly how I induce myself using the Midwife Brew. This is my third child that I will be doing this with. It was very successful for my other children. I have those videos here where I talk about that on my YouTube channel, but that I never really did a full vlog style for you to actually see the entire process. I get so many questions from moms. So I think if I'm able to do that this time, I can answer so many questions. We can kind of talk about things, and if you have any additional ones, just ask me. But first things first, I like to make raspberry leaf tea. The day that I know that I'm going to induce, I usually induce at night. So during the daytime, I drink raspberry leaf tea pretty much all day. I'll take about 2 water bottles, and for 2 water bottles worth of water, I'll have literally 8 tea bags of raspberry leaf tea in there. So it's very, very concentrated. That's what I like to do. It's really helpful, and it starts just the whole entire process of getting my uterine walls super strengthened, getting those contractions very effective, so that we can shorten the time of the labor. The shorter the labor, the less amount of time that you are in pain. And if you have been a follower or a subscriber of mine for a while, you know that I had natural, no epidural birth experience last time, and I would like to repeat that again for sure. I also would like to stay in the hospital for the least amount of time possible, so I don't want to have any medical intervention. As long as everything goes smoothly, that will not have to be the case. So I'm really trying to do this all natural, no intervention, just keep us nice and safe. It's obviously a pandemic, so delivering during a pandemic, I have to wear a mask. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable, and every time any medical professional comes in the room, I'm going to also have the mask. And honestly, I'm scared, I'm nervous just to even be in a hospital under these conditions, and I have a new baby whose immune system is so fragile. So I want to get out of there as soon as possible. So hopefully this helps. Okay, so part of my entire house is a complete mess because I'm extremely pregnant. So, but I just wanted to show you some more other labor prep things that I've talked about before. The evening primrose oil. I have this here. This is an essential oil, lavender essential oil, and I'm going to place it in my diffuser. Do you see it? My diffuser. And I'm also going to have it on hand so that every time I'm having a really intense contraction, it can be one of my go-to tools to help me relax. And you just smell it. You just run it across your nose a little bit like this, and you smell it, and it actually helps you calm down a little bit. I'm gonna go now and make sure everything's going right with the children, and then I'm going to eat some food and wait about an hour, and then I'm going to make the brew. That's how it's going to be. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's pretty dark right now because time has gone by, and it is actually 9:47. So I want to tell you what happened between that time and when I did. I continued to drink raspberry leaf tea, and I ate some dinner. I waited at least 2 hours until this point now at 9:47, where I'm about to make the brew. I personally like to not have anything super fresh on my stomach, just in case it makes me feel nauseous or anything like that. So I like to go ahead and kind of spread it out and have 2 hours in between my last meal. I have my ingredients right here. So I actually made the lemon verbena tea yesterday. So this is it. I just put it in the container, and you can see it's super dark, so it's very concentrated. There are 4 bags in here. And then we have the almond butter, we have the castor oil, and all right, and now we have the apricot juice. So I'm gonna put all of that inside of my Vitamix and get things going. Really quick, a fun fact, I have to bring up my own YouTube video of when I made the brew so that I can make sure that I'm doing it exactly as I did it from the beginning. My dog is not happy right now. But yeah, I have to bring up my own recipe. Here is another fun fact. I should have probably renamed it. Like, I know a lot of people make it the way that I make it now, but the reality is that is not the recipe that I am making, is not the original Midwife's Brew. This video that I made of the Midwife's Brew is not the original recipe. When I initially researched it and I saw that there was a brew, it was an essential oil paired with the castor oil that were the real active ingredients in this. But I didn't feel comfortable doing castor oil and an essential oil at the same time because it was so, to me, it was so concentrated and strong. So I decided to use a tea instead. So that's when I went out looking for a lemon verbena tea, and I gauged how many tea bags I needed by how dark the tea was, because I needed something that was going to be very concentrated but just not as strong as an essential oil. So if you see recipes around saying Midwife's Brew and there's a tea involved, it's actually the BK brew. It's actually my brew, because I pretty much made that part up. It was very successful. It worked for me very well, and it has worked for hundreds, if not thousands, of women. You know, I'm glad I shared it on YouTube. I probably should have renamed it so I could get some credit, but it's okay. Give me some credit right now and just hit the thumbs up. And we'll call this BK Brew. So BK Brew, whatever. I'm making it now, but I do need to make sure I have all the measurements correct, and I do go into my own video to make sure it's right. Castor oil, almond, and I'm going to use 4.
Mommy, I can't see that.
Kelly, you have to go upstairs, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye, Ori. They do not want me to have their sibling. 250 milliliters of lemon verbena tea. Closer to you. Perfect. It's 250 exactly. 300 milliliters of apricot juice. 2 tablespoons of castor oil. I can't believe I'm really doing this. I don't even know if I'm mentally ready right now, but the only way out of pregnancy is through labor. 2 tablespoons of almond butter. I always thought it was more than that. Guess I remembered incorrectly. What?
That's the thing, baby dove is a boy.
No, baby dove's gonna be a little girl, but we're not gonna be able to see her unless you guys go to bed, because I have to go to the hospital, okay?
You're gonna go to the hospital today?
Yes, but y'all have to go to sleep. I can't go until you go to sleep, okay?
I just want to tell them something.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I can help every people, even with love. And hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button to everyone so they can watch the video too.
Oh, that's great advice. Thanks, Kelly. Good night. And that some people have that laxative stuff, and that does not happen when I make this. Not even a little bit.
It's getting closer to midnight. I try to get closer to you. Drinking courage from my red cup now. I will soon make a move. Ooh, I can taste it.
That's batch number 1. I still haven't finished this entire thing. I'll just drink this within 20 minutes. The answer is no, I haven't drank it yet, but here we go. So I have to drink all of this, and I have 20 minutes to do so, so it's 10:08, and I need to go ahead. Yes, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous because labor is intense, but I cannot wait to see my baby girl. Everything's gonna go great. It's gonna be smooth sailing, beautiful calm labor and delivery like I've had before. Cheers.
It's a shot of love, baby.
It tastes so nasty to me.
How much of that do you have to drink?
The whole thing. In 20 minutes. So I started at 10:08. It's already been 2 minutes. And I am suffering. It's been 10 minutes. 2 minutes left.
Trying my best not to lose control. I want you, that's all I know. Trying my best not to lose control, cause
Guys, so I've moved from the kitchen. Jeremy is now upstairs with the kids, and hopefully they are gonna go to bed right now. They already know that mommy is trying to get ready for baby soon, so they are really excited as well. So that's why they're up this late. Their normal bedtime when they're in school and stuff is like 7:30, 8 p.m. So this is very different. But I wanted to use this time as I wait for the contractions to start. Usually for me, what that is that my stomach starts to feel tight and then release. It's not painful, it doesn't hurt, it's just a tightening and a release. I've gotten questions. The most commonly asked question is, what are the risks in terms of the baby passing meconium? I get that question a lot. Now, when I first took and made up, took the recipe, revamped it to my own and all that stuff, I was very well aware that it had castor oil in it. I was also very well aware of the controversy around castor oil. So I dug into research, and basically there was not enough evidence to say that castor oil caused passing of meconium. And then I took into consideration anecdotal evidence, all the people in my life who have taken castor oil before. They weren't taking midwives, they were taking just castor oil, and not a single person I knew who took castor oil did that happen to. I always heard it in myth, like someone who knew someone who knew someone, but never someone that I could talk to directly. So out of my video being up for 5 years and my other videos being up for 2.5 years, almost 3 years as well, I have never seen a comment from a person who took the Midwives Brew and say that they passed meconium. Out of 5 years. I only know 2 women who have ever told me that their baby passed meconium, and they did not take anything that involved castor oil. One of them had a regular medical induction, and the other one said that she ate a bunch of cheeseburgers from White Castle, and that she had her baby, and her stomach personally was all messed up, and so was the baby's, and the baby passed meconium. That was the only time, okay? And everyone else who has taken the Midwives Brew or talked to me about taking the Midwives Brew, at this point, is definitely 100 women, easily. Never. So why is it so, if it causes it, why is it so hard to find someone? Like, it shouldn't be hard, right? It should be most of the time that happens, so everyone would be afraid to do it. But the reality is a clear outlier. So it was important for me to talk about that in this video because I get that question a lot. And one of the things that is important to also consider are any risks that could be associated with having Pitocin. Let's not forget that labor in itself is risky. You just don't know. There's so many uncertainties. So whether it is inducing with the Midwives Brew or castor oil or Pitocin or a balloon or what have you, there are risks involved. There are risks involved with getting an epidural. You could literally become very, very injured where you won't be able to walk again with getting an epidural, right? There are a lot of risks when you're signing off for that. And people get epidurals all day, every day. They take that risk. They're like, I don't care. I don't want to feel the pain. So I'm willing to not walk again for the pain. So we have to just keep that a part of the conversation as each person talks to their midwife, their doula, their OB, the person that they trust to take them through their birthing experience. It's important to have those conversations with them and to talk about these things, and I'm glad that I'm here to talk to you about my experience. I do let my doctors know that I'm doing this. I do let my doula know. I haven't had a doctor tell me, no, don't do that. It's going to cause meconium. Not one single person from any of the practices I've ever gone to has told me that. Take it at your own risk, but for me, it's the least risky route. I had a really difficult time with Pitocin. My body did not respond to Pitocin until I had the maximum amount. But when I take this midwife's brew, within an hour, I have the beginning of labor. I do it each time because I feel like I have a little bit more control, and that makes me feel safe. Am I feeling something now? So it's now 1:03. I actually feel pretty much nothing. This is a little bit surprising to me because I do recall feeling tightening and such a lot earlier for the last few times that I've used this brew. So I don't know if that means it's just too early and it's not going to work for me right now because it's too early and my body might not be ready, which has never happened with the brew. I've always been ready. We have arrived. It is now 1:29 and I officially am starting to feel a very mild pattern of contractions coming. It's at the bottom of my stomach, so the lower abdominal area. I'm starting to feel the contractions every so often. Right now I'm feeling one. This obviously is not that bad because I'm talking through it. So I'm feeling one right now. It is at the bottom. I don't feel it at the top of my stomach yet. So we'll see. Oh, it usually starts like you'll feel it here or down here in your lower abdominal area, and then it will kind of continue to spread on out. But if you start feeling it down here or here and the tightening, like it's tight right now, then your labor is probably starting. $7:08. I drink a little bit of raspberry leaf tea, just a couple sips, to help make the contractions kind of increase a little bit. And maybe it worked because now I cannot sleep for sure. Okay, now it's a contraction. I can't sleep through them for sure. They're painful. I'm trying to pay attention to how quickly they're coming. I'm gonna probably call my doula really soon and my doctor's office because it does feel like it's progressing at this point. After I drink the raspberry leaf tea, it definitely made me feel like nauseous, and yeah, I think we're progressing. Oh, I'm going through a contraction now. Contraction, hold on. Okay.
Okay, they still coming back to back?
Yeah, they're coming back to back.
Where are you guys now? Are you in the car?
Yeah, we're in the car.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, keep breathing through that.
It's getting closer to midnight. I try to get closer to you. Drinking courage from my red cup now. I will soon make a move. Ooh, I can taste it, the bittersweetness of taking a shot, a risk worth taking. If it's a shot at love, baby, I adore you. Maybe I adore you. Yeah, I'm feeling higher and higher. I'm up on cloud nine. Baby, I adore you.
All right, man. Well, we had the baby in the car. This is the most unbelievable experience I've ever had in my entire life. We're here outside of the emergency room. About 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, the wife gave birth right here, dog. Right here. Had to lean the chair back and I caught the baby right here, dog. Like, oh. I can't believe it, man. Like, still in shock.
Jeremy, how you doing? Dr. Jeremy, midwife Jeremy, he caught the baby.
Out of the car, left the door open. The driver's side door was still open. Ran over to your side, you opened the door. You asked me to slide the chair back, help you get comfortable, and I looked down, and the head was already out for the most part. So at that point, I knew that we were having this baby here. So I went to go find any sort of towels we had, or blankets in the trunk. There weren't any, but luckily enough, I found my son's coat, and we caught the baby with the coat. Umbilical cord attached. I laid her on your chest, and maybe about a minute or two after that, the police and the paramedics showed up and escorted us to the hospital.
Baby, I adore you. Trying my best not to lose control.
I seriously cannot believe that actually happened. I had no clue that when I was sitting down explaining to you guys labor techniques, that I had 30 minutes pretty much until my child was going to be on my chest. I had no clue. I was so focused on managing my pain that I did not realize how far along I was. And that's why I also think it's important to have a doula, because my doula really helped me like realize like, oh, this is serious. Like, you gotta go, because I'm just so focused on the pain management. So that helped, like that teamwork. But still, oh my goodness, I can't believe I had the baby in the car. I'm literally like, Jeremy, it's a wrap. Park, it's done. And it's funny because along the way, I kept asking him how much longer we have. He's like, first 18 minutes, then it's 11 minutes, then it was 6 minutes. And when it was at 6 minutes, I'm thinking in my head, I don't have 6 minutes. Like, there's no way I can do like 4 to 6 more contractions like this and make it. I'm gonna have this. I feel like there's some pressure. So at that point, I was a little more tense. I was tensing up because I was trying to keep the baby in. Like, I was trying to make it. And at like maybe 2 minutes later, I just realized like it's a wrap. And I said that to Jeremy, like, literally, it's a wrap. Because the baby was coming, and it literally was like, how your brain, like, you have your prefrontal cortex where you make all your decisions and stuff, and then you have other parts of your brain that make decisions for you, like the part that makes sure that your heart is beating or your lungs are filling with air and so on and so forth, right? Well, there I am, my prefrontal cortex, me, consciously trying to keep the baby from coming out, and then my other part of my body, like, completely overrode my decision part and was like, nope, the baby's coming. Like, it literally was like, turn off her mic. It doesn't matter what she thinks needs to happen right now. Turn her mic off. She cannot speak on this. It's done. This baby comes out now. And it just was like crazy. And because my water broke at the same time that the baby was coming out, it literally was just 2 pushes. I didn't even physically push it. Like, the baby just came out like head, then next contraction, body, and everything else. Like, just came out, and we're on the side of the road and people are honking congratulations. and you know, the paramedics were there, the police officers were there, you know, the umbilical cord is still attached, my placenta is still in my body. It didn't actually come out until I came to the hospital. So this was just, and then I had to get the COVID test and stuff once I was at the hospital. Jeremy didn't have to get it, which is weird, but only I had to get it. And that was that. We're now in the room with the baby. Oh my God. Right here.